Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, welcome back to the Cannondale Cup, also known as Mountain Bike Rally, one of the few games supporting the Super Nintendo exercise bike accessory, which, as you can see, I do not have, and if I stood up you could tell I have never had, and that's fine. But yes, this game was made for exercise bikes. That's why it is the way it is. I find that kind of fascinating, really. What's really interesting is there's slight differences like in character names between Cannondale Cup and Mountain Bike Rally, but no one knows why. Everything else seems to be the same. The race names and whatnot are different, but that's all. It's all a very strange little video game piece of trivia. Let's make sure everything is broadcasting as expected. Looks like it is. We put out our little blue sky notice that we are beginning our broadcast. Put one out on our Discord as well. Now we need an additional 20,000 points or 356 laps to get to the next tier of races in the game. So, let us resume the Cannondale Cup. So this is the demo mode. This is like the attract mode that plays if you just let it sit. But I'm able to interact with it. I was able to press start and pause it. Do you have to win first to proceed? No. I will get my points just for finishing the race. I'll get a multiplier to my points if I finish top 3. But also you get points every few seconds based on your position. So if you're in first, you get 8 points every couple of seconds. If you're in last, you get 0 points every couple of seconds. It's like 8, 7, 6. Next, what's the best Super Nintendo beat 'em up besides TMNT? Oh, I'd have to think about that one for a while. I'd have to look at a list because TMNT immediately jumps to mind as the best. I don't mind the Final Fight games. They're okay, but they're kind of basic. Actually, so while I'm waiting for the chat and stuff add-ons to get in, let me look at this. Oh wait, what am I doing? I have everything sorted into piles already. Okay, looking at the list that I have, great Super Nintendo beat 'em ups besides TMNT, Turtles in Time. Spider-Man and Venom. Separation Anxiety, which I think is better than the Carnage one, because the Carnage one's super hard. Separation Anxiety is easier. And then probably after that, Captain Commando, and that's basically the list. That'd probably be what I'd go. I'd probably say Separation Anxiety or Captain Commando as the best one besides Turtles in Time. Okay. Let us resume the game. Okay. Okay, we're still in the regional circuit here. We did really well at Grid Rock, but we haven't done well on Kilimanjaro. So let's do this. 30 laps again. And we need one that's great on dirt. Turning okay. Con heavy, can't really jump. Turning okay. Turning good. Mud, tar, bad at pavement. So let's try this one, the hybrid one, and see how that does. So I think that could work for us this time. And then we turned off the punching to try and make things a little more manageable. So we'll see how this goes. Welcome to Kilimanjaro. Shredder's damn hard final boss. He was okay, I thought. I actually thought he was harder in the recent beat 'em up came out last year. The one that the ones that did the Marvel beat 'em up recently. Let's keep it moving. Gotta keep an eye on my speed, make sure I can maintain it above like 30 at least. Dang it, I thought I hit that one. I did not. Let's go, let's go. Come on. We're learning the races still. Gotta move, gotta move. Have you played F-Zero yet? Yes, I have played F-Zero. I was fairly early on. Before I had established like a structure and stuff. Must not falter. Gotta catch them bananas every time. Only 21 laps left to go. Kevin Nash is Shredder, yeah. That was in the second movie. I actually like Shredder in that Batman and Turtles animated movie. He basically went toe-to-toe with Batman, which I thought was a good way of framing it. Made him look like a threat. Whereas if you go back to like the old cartoon where he's voiced by the dad from Fresh Prince, James Avery, it's more of a doofus. Which I get. The villains in all those cartoons in the 80s and 90s were just more of doofusy than bad. Damn it, he threw a banana at me at the wrong time. You get extra points every time I knock one down. That'd be preferable. Favorite game of all time? Probably Marvel vs. Capcom 2, though sometimes I'll say Final Fantasy 4 or 3. Or, I mean, Final Fantasy 6, I mean. Or, EN3. Oh, thank you, Simon. Cursed bananas! I can't see him coming because of the frame rate. Do you play any newer games? I love newer games. I was just downstairs doing playing a little bit of Donkey Kong Bonanza. I play games that come on Game Pass just because I can't really buy anything at the moment. Those Persona games on Game Pass are great. But yeah, I love newer games. I love video games. The Super Nintendo stuff is just, it's easier to set up and stream, and there's a lot less licensed music that you have to worry about, that kind of stuff, which is its own problem. And I find older games tend to be a little bit more friendly to, you know, beat in one night or play for a couple hours or play in small chunks. Whereas playing through Dragon Age the Veilguard is a process. And while I have played Fortnite and, you know, other more standard games, they're just not my thing most of the time. I like playing weird games. I'll play through Edith Finch or something, or anything by Supergiant. So, like, I really enjoyed my playthrough of Transistor. So if you go to my link tree, there is a Discord link. It should be one that doesn't expire, because I know Kim Smitherman used it, and she shows up in here fairly often. So there's at least one person. Ten laps left. Okay, fine. Everyone said set up a Discord, and I'm like, I don't know how, but okay. Do the best I can. Apologize if I am unresponsive. This thing is, this game goes actually a mile a minute. It's very easy to get off track because of how how slippery it is. So I kind of am keeping eyes on it, and then I'll respond more between races. I promise. needed to hit that one. So hard to focus on this thing. It's going at 10 frames a second. Six laps left. Dang it. I should be distressingly ahead by now. Banana! Okay, focus up. A man in the face. Got me turning the wrong way. Two laps left. Here we go. Never played this game. What, you didn't have the exercise bike attachment for your Super Nintendo? This game was made for an exercise bike, I found out. I was doing some research on it. Which, you know, sure, why not? Dang it, second. Let's see. Day 3, yes, we're currently on day 3 of Cannondale Cup. Must hype. If you go to my link tree, you can find this. Link to my Discord. Never played this game? Yeah, it was attached to an exercise bike. So came up randomly on the wheel, and now here we are, playing the weirdest version of Road Rash I've ever seen. Okay. Ride like a hurricane. Now I cannot advance into the next section until I've gotten way too many. This is stone slab here. I need great turning. Here we go. Great turning, speed poor. Okay. So we'll settle for instead good turning and okay speed. We'll try this, see how it go. Simon sent a dolphin, which is amazing. Whoops. Missed the turn. We'll remember which order these turns come in at some point. It's like 4 times in a row now I've fallen for that turn. The final level is not 100 laps, the final level is 30. It literally says it on the main menu. And the main menu would never lie in a video game. That would just be needlessly cruel. I'm trying to imagine what this would be like with the exercise bike attachment thing. And I can't imagine it being fun. Maybe it's something like you don't have the energy meter when you have the exercise bike, it's just all dependent on you. That would kind of make sense. Like it steers itself, it fights itself, but you pedaling provides the speed. That could work. I wonder if any of those exercise bikes still exist. That would be insane. How many races are they? All 50-something laps. So there are 3 races that I have access to in this tier. And I choose the number of laps. But I get points while they're ongoing. So the longer the race, the more points I'll get. And I figure 30 laps is a good balance because that's how long the final race is. And I can set that and I can practice that and get used to the amount of time that takes. But the actual thing is I need a certain number of points to advance to the next tier of races. Or complete a certain number of laps. So eventually I will get there, it's just how long it takes. So they can be as little as, I think, 5, and as many as 80 or 100. But 100 seems like it would just be maddening and I would go insane. At least at this pace, I can sort of go through them and change it up a little bit every now and then. So there are 3 races. There's 1 race in the tutorial, and I had to get, I want to say 10,000 points to advance to this. There's 3 races at this, which is like regionals. And there's 3 more races at the next tier, and then it's the final. But once I'm in the next tier, I have to get, I think, 60,000 points to advance, which is going to be a bit of a grind, but maybe there'll be more options for points that I can deal with at that level. Ride like the wind, ride like the wind. Weird little deer things. Find any hidden gems while doing this? Oh yeah. Already a few. Operation Logic Storm was a lot of fun. Spin Dizzy Worlds, which is like a really long Marble Madness-y kind of game. It definitely falls into hidden gem territory. Run Saber. There's a bunch of them, yeah. Main concern right now is that I wear out my last controller before I get much further, just because of some of these games are rough on them. I mean, Arcade's Revenge? That's on the list. I don't know if it's queued up anytime in the near future, though. So a lot of this is spinning a wheel and picking the next game. It's not all predetermined, though. Like games that are multiples of 10 are decided upon already, and they're removed from the list for the rest of the games. I reserved multiples of 10 for games that I think are great or at least important. And multiples of 50 are for games that I think are like top 10 on the console. You actually build a lead, or is it always kept close? That's the thing, is I've lapped people before in some of the earlier races, but the person in second is always like right there. You know how in Mario Kart, when you whoever finishes second in the first race is then right on your tail the entire rest of the cup? It's like that. computer decides this one's going to be the winner if you aren't the winner. And it's always them. It's not the same person every time or anything, but it's always them. But that also holds true for you, because I fell off the track and went the wrong way for like a whole lap, and was able to relatively quickly and easily catch up to everybody. So at least the rubber banding goes both ways. What counts as you beating a game? It changes from game to game, and I decide what counts. Generally speaking. So like when I do a fighting game that has endings for the different characters, I'm committed. I've sort of somehow committed myself to playing through it with every character. Sometimes it'll just be one quick playthrough. Sometimes it'll be a season. So like I had to beat the World Cup in the soccer game I played a little bit ago. But when I played a golf game, it was just one round on the course because that was the only course that game had, so I decided that was enough. And if it's like a game that doesn't end, it's just sort of until I feel I've seen enough. For the most part, it seems self-explanatory for most games, but not for every game. Come on. Stoked for the Ocarina of Time remake? Curious. Because I recently went back and looked at Ocarina of Time, which I hadn't played in a while, and I think it still holds up, and I can deal with whatever graphical weirdness there is. Because it's just, it's a solid game, but it's pretty small. It's just the scale of it, the scope of it. So just delivering a high-end remake, there are people who've been remaking it in Unreal Engine just for fun, because it's a tight enough world that you could do that. But if that's all they're doing, that isn't much. But if they do more, then that's pretty awesome. But it depends on what they're going to do, really. This deer keep coming out of nowhere. Very frustrating. I assume I'm supposed to avoid the water because it slows me down. I can at least see my miles per hour on the bottom there, so I can get a pretty good idea of what I'm not supposed to do. And off-road is not great. And then I can't pedal back up to speed until my energy recoups there. Whiff. Dang it. hate that I'm starting to like the music. It's like weird and catchy. I've beaten up every single one of you so many times now. Who are you to say I cannot ride fast? I can ride fast! Last lap. That speed bonus didn't do a whole ton, did it? There's no mini-map. You just have to learn the race. Okay, so about roughly 5 more races. Did you win? Not that time. I got 4th. Yeah, see. So you can see down the bottom there. So I have to get 15,258 more points or 296 more laps to move from regional to champion circuit. And then champion circuit is 60,000 points, which if I maintain about roughly 3,000 points per race is 20 races. So hopefully I'll do better there. Now what I wonder is, do I get points if I race in the... Oh no, it definitely has to be in the regional circuit. Cajun challenge is mud. So let's go with this. Ugh. Opa. I got knocked over my daughter's tablet there. Oh. This thing's supposed to be good at mud. It is not. Dang it, he hit me with a frog. That's frustrating. I think I need to hit all the arrows if I want to sort of maintain here. Let's go, let's go. Again, he's throwing frogs at me. It's frustrating. Oh no! We're moving, we're moving, we're moving. Hit with a frog. Okay. Grab that frog. Dang it, frog in the face. Aye, not great. Can't tell who's actually the problem. Uh-oh. Flew away there. Boom, gotcha. Whoa, skidding out of control. I am drifting here. Doing an Akira slide. Bicycle. Let's go! Dang it, frogged. Only 12 laps to go. Good lord. At least this one actually seems like it's faster, like shorter laps than the other races. Oh, come on. Let's get through here. Dang it, frog! There we go. Okay. Moving forward. Oh, I caught that. Ride. That wasn't what I wanted to have happen. I wanted to catch that frog. Press L to catch the stuff that they throw at you, but press R to punch them in the face. Almost done with this one. Oof. Goodness gracious. Oof. So few points. Okay. Got enough time to do one more. Let's see what the mountain demon looks like. But we'll take him to Grid Rock. Here we go. Dang it. Got distracted. Trying to beat that guy. Where's that super expensive SNES? Yep. That is somewhere else on eBay. I am not. I'm having fun doing this. I am not making money doing this. So, no Super Nintendo exercise bike for me. Frustrating. Thought it was later in the race than it was, so I turned the wrong direction. It did not go well. Plenty of race left, though. Let's go. I mean, I set the options so they can't hit back, so yeah, I'm just raining blows upon them. It's like an Ip Man movie up in here. What is my weapon? Oh, I did a jump. That sucked. At first I thought it was an insult, but it's position. Yeah, things can be more than one thing. Let's go, let's go. Dang it. Miscounted. Okay. 10 laps to go. Uh-oh. Not great. Let's catch up here. Let's get a move on. We can do this. This game's gonna take forever. It's gonna take a little bit, yeah. Misjudged that final turn and ruined everything. Okay. At least I don't lose much. I'm getting too tired to continue right now. Okay. Got about another 10,000 tonight, so probably do that again tomorrow. Boy. Oh, this one's going to take a little bit. We're almost to the champion area at least, so we're making a lot of progress. It's just, it requires a lot more.